Did you begin your career, and what position did you start at?
July 13th of 1987, and when I started, I was assigned to deep undercover narcotics. I didn't even go to the academy. I was taught to by, at that time, Lieutenant Blodgett and Sergeant Randy Listrom, and I went into undercover narcotics right off.
And what are some of the things you learned about the Topeka Police Department during your career?
I think one of the things overall is just the overall fiber of the people that get into law enforcement, and how they, everybody that I know has gotten into law enforcement has gotten into it for the right reasons, and it's to serve their communities and help people out and to make a difference in people's lives.
During your career, what are some of your greater accomplishments?
Well, that's one of those things that, been here over 33 years. Accomplishments, I don't know, if I like to take credit for anything, specifically, but some of the things that I really enjoyed being a part of was getting our CIT, Crisis Intervention Team, up and running. That was really a lot of fun. It took a lot of work, but the partnerships and stuff and relationships that I developed during that process was very rewarding. So that was probably one of the things that I enjoyed most. And then one of the other things that I really enjoyed a lot was being involved in accident reconstruction. That was one of the things that really thrilled me, and I got to be the supervisor of that unit for many years. And so those are two of the biggest things, I think, for me, because they directly resulted in helping individuals in our community. And then I enjoyed being a homicide detective when I had that opportunity.
And along the same lines, what were some of your greatest challenges?
Well, again, I would put those three things as your greatest challenges too, because as a homicide investigator, some of the cases that you got, you really didn't have much to go on. And then as you worked on them and developed them, and then you develop the suspect and you make that arrest, that's very rewarding, but that's a huge challenge. Accident reconstruction is another one of those, because a lot of different things come into play. You have to use mathematics and physics and all that other stuff, and so those are different challenges. But then the Crisis Intervention Team, CIT, that's extremely challenging because it really took me out of my comfort zone. I had to work with a lot of different agencies and people in the community. And so when you talk about challenges, all three of those were unique, but they all had their own unique challenges.
And moving forward, what changes do you believe the Topeka Police Department should or could make to make the department better?
Well, I think some of the things that we have in progress that I'm assuming will continue on and get through to fruition, but one of the things that we are bringing to the department is the ABLE program, Active Bystanders for Law Enforcement. That's a real exciting program, and so we're bringing that. We just started that process. So that moving forward, I think, is going to really benefit the department. The SAFE program, Strategies Against Violence Everywhere, is another initiative that we've been working on for a little over a year. And with the DEA getting approval to hire the coordinator's position for that, that's going to be rolling out around the first of the year. So that's another thing that's going to make the department better and make the community safer. And then we're finishing up a program with PERF right now, Police Executive Research Firm, on how to respond to non-lethal shootings and how do you investigate those better. In the city of Topeka, for the last couple of years, 40% of our gunshot victims refuse to cooperate. And so this program here is to focus on how do you improve that? How do you get those people that are willing to cooperate with the police department and law enforcement so you can make arrests in those?
And what advice would you give for the next chief?
I think the next chief, I think chiefs going forward in today's environment, they have to be honest, they have to be compassionate, and they have to have integrity. There's got to be some position, and the people in those positions, ones that people can trust, may not like what you hear all the time, may not like the outcome of what takes place, but I think, you know, being honest and having that integrity and having compassion is extremely important.
Great. Anything you'd like to add or let the people of Topeka know about your time here?
Well, I think, you know, people talk about police reform, and as I try to tell people, police reform is something that law enforcement does on a continually basis. We continually are evolving and stuff like that. So when you talk about police reform, it's the, you know, the big topic. That's the big term right now. Police reform really should just be viewed at, hey, this is the next step of things that we need to take or we need to work on, or how do we make things better? And that's one of the things that we strive to do here at the Topeka Police Department. We've been doing that. And I'm sure that will continue. And so, you know, one of the things I think people need to realize, and I think that they do realize, that, you know, law enforcement is a noble profession, and it should be one that's respected. Of course, you always have individuals that, in any profession, that, you know, maybe tarnish the badge, shall we say. But most people, 99% of the people, get into law enforcement for the right reasons, and that's to help their communities, serve their communities, protect their communities, and you know, make an investment of where they live. And so, you know, at the end of the day, law enforcement and police work is still very noble and honorable, and I think most people respect that and understand that. And at the end of the day, you know, the police department, we're still the ones that go to the scenes, respond to the scenes. We're the first ones there, we're the last ones out. And we are, in essence, the tip of the spear, because we're out there 24/7, and we can always be counted on.